Yo yo yo, what's going on Team 651? I'm Wubblepig and I'm going to play some 1k spins today. So I'm mostly going to one table but might flick in two, all depends on the action. I expect it's going to be pretty reggy. The 1ks usually are fairly reggy, but just thought it'd be a fun sweat, so probably make this a regular feature where I play a little bit of 1ks, talk through the hands and then maybe flick through a couple of them at the end with Instant GTO. So hope you enjoyed GLS. Alright, so straight off the bat, 2 regs, which is kind of what we expect. Different types of regs as well. I'm going to mostly refrain, I think, from naming the players as much as possible. But yeah, 2 different types of regs. This one on the left-hand side, the small blind here, is he's pretty aggressive, but has a more sort of GTO-ish type of style. The one on the right is pretty aggressive, very exploit heavy style. Doesn't necessarily play the same way that a lot of the regs do in today's games. Doesn't seem to be as clued up with GTO. Not necessarily not as clued up, but certainly he likes to play a more street brawler type of poker, and he does it pretty well. Alright, so we're flatting King Jack off in the small blind here. There's pretty much all of the options are fine in the spot. You can jam, you can 3-bet non all in, and you can flat as well. I've decided to flatten this spot. So here it's close between whether we want to go pot, I think, or 1.5 times pot. I think we do want to lead. We're not behind too many hands as played. I think I'm probably going to go for the pot size. You certainly could go 1.5 times pot because straights aren't a consideration. So obviously he's not going to check back on the button with 5-4 or 9-10 in this spot. So he doesn't have any straights in this situation. And it's highly unlikely that he checks on this board with over pairs, 2 pairs and hands like this. Generally do want to go bigger sizing on that board, obviously, because we benefit from lots of protection. Yeah, I am expecting quite a few folds, to be honest. I expect his range is going to be a lot of sort of king, queen, ace, queen type hands, but I still think we want to go the larger size there. So it's not one of the spots that you can look up in GTO, because obviously the small blind's not very solved. But on that texture, I don't really want to give away too much free equity. I suppose there's probably some room, given the fact that he's not going to have much 5x in his range to begin with on the button. I guess he can have some 9x, although it's debatable. He might actually c-bet those. 10x doesn't really matter. I guess his range is really going to be a lot of like ace highs and stuff like that, and maybe some just like middle pairs and third pairs with a good kicker that we possibly force out with the size. So I suppose there's probably some justification for going smaller. I'm kind of indifferent about it. It's tough because obviously we don't get to solve it. So limping with the intention of limp jamming here, obviously. Again, any of the options are fine. I wouldn't open shove, but 3xing or limping would be the options I like the most. I'm going to check here with the intention of check calling. It's not a dream spot, but we do at least have the queen of spades. He decides to bet, so here we're going to have a look at the HUD, see how much he bets when he's checked to. So here we can see, don't have any sample for it just yet, just calling, and then a pretty simple check fold on the turn here. Yeah, we're not getting creative, and you can see he's sort of using these larger sizes, which is a pretty good play. You can have a decent wide range in the spot. You can have 10x, straights, flushes all played this way, although I don't expect him to pot with that many flushes, but obviously we're going to struggle to continue there with pretty poor equity. Here at 16 bigs, this is really close with a7 between shoving and raise folding. I'm going to shove because they're 2 good regs in this game, so I really don't mind taking thin edges. It's one of those things that I wouldn't necessarily do if there was a fish in the game, and I wouldn't even do if there was at least 1 bad reg in the game. But in a game with 2 regs, 2 good regs, I'm certainly fine with picking that option. So here I'm going to be opening anywhere between sort of 2 and 2.5x with these types of hands, and I'm just basically going to go pretty close to 50-50 with hands like this one. This is close whether we want to bet or not. It's obviously really crap that we've got 2 clubs in this spot. I think I'm going to lean towards checking and going for a delay, but we won't be able to check call. And then the turn comes to ace of hearts. Now normally what we would do in this spot is go for a smaller size. You wouldn't typically go for the 1.5, but I think from an exploitative point of view, I think 1.5 is fine, and we do have reasonable equity here. So that's the thing about the small blind, is that generally what you'll see in GTO play is that it likes to play aggressively with equity, and it plays pretty passively without equity. So in limped pots you're only c-betting around about 33% overall, all the stack depths combined, and it starts at 25% at the deepest, so it's sort of 20 to 25, and it gets a little bit higher as it goes along, so it's going to be about 30% c-bet at that depth. And it, like I said, it is quite passive. It does just end up check folding quite a lot of really weak holdings, which is surprising. But when you think about the fact that you're out of position and the ranges run fairly close in a limped pot, it actually does make sense. So it likes to play its equity very strongly. A 4-3 certainly qualified for a delay in that spot. Probably not that sizing, but I think from an exploitative point of view, it's pretty good.